Thanks everybody, you take a seat. God, let the words that you write in this book be heard amongst us today, and the words that I speak be as you intended. Amen. Now I expect most of you have come across insurance companies to insure your car or your house, maybe your business, your mobile phone, even a musical instrument, or your pet. You probably use them to mend damaged bumpers, car wing, a smashed mobile phone screen, paper spill nothing. And they are there for that. But their real purpose is to put lives back together. The person who falls off a ladder at work breaks his arm, and he breaks his leg, and he hurts his back. Well, the insurance company puts that person back on his feet. They pay for physio, they pay for private surgery, they compensate their salary while they can't work. And if they can't work in the same job again, they pay for the difference in the salary that they're going to get to what they used to have to keep their income up. And if they're really seriously injured, then they redesign their house. If they need a wheelchair, they'll pay for home help. They'll even get someone to do the garden for them. And they'll do that for as long as they live. Now, God forbid, if there's a business that you've got, and you've kept this business going for years and years, and it's destroyed totally by a flood or a fire, well, the insurance company helps find new premises for you. It replaces all your stock and all your machinery. And it pays for your employees while they can't work. It'll even pay the additional cost for you to send the work you would have done to another company so you keep your customers. And when your business is built up again, it's still there, paying until you get up and running properly. So that's what insurance companies really do. They take on the risk that we don't want. And they provide us with peace of mind and financial security. And they do this by charging a small premium from everybody. And they create a large fund and they invest it. And they go to that fund when they need to put people back on their feet. And it's the underwriter's job to decide how much that premium should be, depending on just how risky that business or that person is. The more risky, the more premium you pay. The less risky, the less you pay. Then it's all fair. And then I started to think, well, what else do underwriters do? And I drew the conclusion that Jesus was, in fact, an underwriter. You've got to be a mathematician. It's all about probabilities, an underwriter. Well, Jesus fed 5,000 people with just 2 fishes and 5 loaves. And just to prove it wasn't a fluke, he did it again with 4,000 people. An underwriter's got to be a negotiator. And I've seen in the time, many times in the Gospels, of how Jesus skillfully handles the Pharisees. Now, an underwriter's got to understand hazards and risks. And we see Jesus telling us how to live our lives in order to enter into the kingdom of heaven. An underwriter is a marketeer. Now, Jesus performed many miracles in his lifetime. Compassion for those who needed him. But also to spread his word. A few people were listening to him to begin with. And that drew into giant crowds. An underwriter must teach his profession. I love the passage in the Bible that says, ask and it will be given. Search and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open for you. And an underwriter removes worry. They take on your risk. Jesus said, Come to me, all that carry a heavy burden, and I will give you rest. Now, there's one thing that an underwriter doesn't do, and that's get a big crowd following him. Being an underwriter for an insurance company isn't exactly a career when you tell them what you do, they gasp open-mouthed. You know, I haven't really seen an underwriter stand up and say, "Follow me!" and the underwriting room stands up and walks out. But Jesus wants me to follow him. Just get up, drop everything, and teach and pray and act as he does. Well, that's where I fail miserably. I just can't bring myself to leave like that, you know? I have a job. I have a family. I have responsibilities. I've got to save up for my retirement. I've got to pay bills. I've got to do the gardening. I've got to go to work. I just can't leave. But how can I still be a fisher of people? How do I bring this wonderful experience that I have in this church community to others? The care that we all have for each other, and the care that I have for each of you here. How do I describe that unconditional support that we all give each other? Well, I think in my daily life, yes, Jesus is an underwriter, but he's a student. He's a school child. He's a lawyer. He's an accountant. He's a teacher. He's a scientist. He's a violinist. He's an electrician. He's a carpenter. Oh, he is a carpenter. Oh. Jesus is in every one of us. And Jesus said, "Let the light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven." So by letting our light shine out from within us, in the way that we talk, in the way that we act, people will witness what it's like to have a faith. Now, people will make up their own minds whether they want to come to church and search their own faith. It's not for me to tell them to come to church and that it's good for them. Each and every one of us walk through those doors today because God was calling us. And it will be thus for new members of our church and those rediscovering their connection with God. But we can help to be that conduit. And we will be fishers of people. Thank you.